Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Real quick check before we get started. I think I have 1 minute or 30 seconds left. Is my audio okay? Am I totally audible, clear? Is audio okay? You all are my test engineers. I see thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Good to go. Just to be sure, I'm going to turn off this fan. We don't want any interruptions. And I have 11 Central, so let's get started. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to our global audience from Beefree SDK. My name is Lawrence Lockhart, and I'm the host of our Spotlight session today that has everything to do with the Beefree SDK, but even more importantly, the Beefree SDK resources for developers. Now, while I'm going through the intro, feel free, I see some of you are already doing it. Just say hi in the chat. Let us know your name and where you're from. I love to shout out hometowns. And we like to say hi to you in that fashion. But today is a very special session. Simple agenda. The first half of our day today, we're going to look at resources for developers that are currently existing, right? Primarily, these are all online resources. But the second half is where it gets really juicy, it's really exciting. We're going to open up the floor to you, the developer community. We want to know what you would like to see from us in terms of resources available. It might be a tweak to an existing resource. It might be something that's just not used anymore. It's cumbersome. Maybe it's a workflow. Anything that can make your life better as a developer, we would like to hear from you in the second half. And if you're brand new to Beefree, you've never touched it before, you don't even know what it is, feel free at that point just to add in the chat, hey, here's some things I like to see when it comes to README, when it comes to documentation, when it comes to onboarding, when it comes to support. Let us know those things down in the chat. We would love to hear from you. This is a recorded session. Of course, it'll be available on our YouTube within a few days, but we'll be able to go back and get all of your feedback and hear what you're having to say, what changes you would like to see. We're going to make note of those and get those information back to the appropriate party. So in the meantime, we have Joshua Berrios. Great to see Joshua. He is a good friend of mine. We go back to interviews, to podcasts, to Tech Twitter. Good day from sunny Florida, Samantha Hoffman. She is the marketing genius. Keeps me on my toes. Great to see her smiling face virtually. Sharice Rucker, glad to have you here from Parts Unknown. Jake Olson, also glad to have you here. Welcome this morning or afternoon. Don't know where you're from. We do have a global audience and customer base. Joshua hailing from Lincoln, Nebraska, product developer at CodeBuddy. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for that, Joshua. We need to get together again soon. We got a hello from Little Rock, Arkansas, very close to me, probably get the Close Person Award. I'm hailing from the Memphis, Tennessee area. Fun fact, the first tech meetup I ever attended was in Little Rock, Jeremy, back when I was just making my transition into tech and there was nothing around my neighborhood. I did a Google search and there was a boot camp called Iron Yard back then in Little Rock, and they had a Saturday, like a 3 or 4 hour meetup session, getting started with HTML, something like that. And I drove from Oxford, Mississippi to Little Rock, Arkansas for that one session. So glad to have you here. Jake hailing from Oregon, all good. I have been to Oregon only once. Beautiful place. Sharice hailing from Beaufort, Georgia. Shout out to all of you. Let's go ahead and get started. And again, those of you who are joined, there are about 16 people here all together. Feel free just to say hi real quick in the chat and where you're from, if you like. And if not, definitely participate toward the end of our session today. So like I said, today is a really special session because we're going to look at existing resources, but also resources you would like to see. Now, my position is Senior Developer Advocate. I am the only Developer Advocate, or DevRel, here at Beefree, and I've been here for less than 3 months. So much of the program is still being written. And we want you, the developer community, both those who are engaged in Beefree ecosystem, as well as those who are on the outside and just curious. We want you to have a part. We want you to be an active voice in shaping the programs, the resources, the assets that we're going to put out in the upcoming weeks and months. We have some exciting things in the pipeline already. Just sent some goals and some tasks to my manager, Luca Pinati. And we want you to be able to input to those goals and give us some feedback as well. So let's get started. If I do this correctly, I should be able to do a picture-in-picture and share this screen right here with you. All righty. Let's just get a thumbs up if you see the home page right there. Just a quick thumbs up, and we're going to keep on moving. Want to make sure everything is sharing accurately. Thumbs up, a yes, anything of that nature. Do you see my homepage? Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Sharice. Thank you, Mendel. Welcome, Mendel Gordon. Glad to have you. All right. So, as a developer, this is the homepage for the entire company, Beefree. But more than likely, as a developer, you're more interested in the SDK specifically, the software development kit that will allow you to embed our very powerful editor into your existing application. So, right here where it says dev, this is going to be your home base. And naturally, it's not cooperating with me. All right. Because why would anything live work, right? I'm having, say what, let's turn off. Oh, wow. Didn't expect that. So, you know what? We're going to just exit page. That's okay. Because in fact, the most powerful resource that I want to talk to you about, first of all, is myself. Hi, again, I'm Lawrence Lockhart, developer advocate. And developer advocacy is a very interesting role because it has two sides of a coin. Many of you may know of developer advocates and think of them in terms of, oh, that's the people I typically see on the videos. That's the people giving the talks at the local tech meetup, maybe at the conference. And that's certainly a really big part of our output. Advocating, if you will, or representing our company to the developer community at large. That's a huge part of our job. But there's another part, the other side of the coin that I call it, and that is bringing your concerns, your interests back to the company. Think about it this way. If you've ever thought about a new software that you use, a new tool, a new framework, language even, and you thought to yourself, if I just had someone on the inside I could talk to, this could be so much better. If I could just get someone to listen to me. And I'm raising issues in the GitHub and no one's responding. I'm sending emails. I wish I had someone on the inside that I could not necessarily just complain to, but give some feedback about some of the tools, some of the software that we're using, things that are going well, things that are not going so well. I wish I had someone on the inside to advocate for me. Ta-da! Here I am. I am he for Beefree. Now, to be clear, if you're talking plans and pricing, you have account managers for that. If you're talking hot button issues, production down, right, 3 a.m. in the morning, you have CSMs for that. Maybe. Yes, you have CSM for that. But when you just need to nerd out about something, or if you see something that's not quite right with the documentation, if you see something that can be a little bit better, that can make your developer experience, that's a big key phrase these days, developer experience, that it can be a little better, I want you to reach out to me. So feel free just to follow me on LinkedIn here. If you do X or Twitter, it'll be the same little funny yellow background, the same smiling face. My name is Lawrence Lockhart. Connect with me. I am happy. I have done this many times to engage via DM with things that you're experiencing, things that you're going well, that you want to see continued. Like, hey, I love how y'all did the README on this latest integration with Angular. Please do all the rest of them like this. We want to hear that. We want to get that feedback from you, and I'll get that information to the appropriate sources. So number one resource I want to recommend to you is myself, Lawrence Lockhart. Love for you to engage with me there. Now let's try this again because earlier it didn't cooperate. Maybe just too many tabs open. So this is the overall home page, but I think most likely, there we go. This is the page as a developer you'll be most interested in. This is your developer hub. It has so much information. It's a great starting place, particularly if you're not in the ecosystem yet, you're not even sure where to start. The homepage obviously is for our whole company. The SDK, that's got the developer in mind. The SDK, the developer page, developers.beefree.io. Now, as we scroll through this, you'll realize it has a lot of information that's great when you want to share what is Beefree with someone else, because maybe you've been using it, you want to suggest it to another company, another team, you're not sure where to send them on our vast website. This is a great place to go because you will find case studies, you will find high-level information about the email builder, landing page builder, pop-up builder, file manager, content services API, template catalog API. Of course, you know we have the HTML importer API as well, but you'll find results, KPIs that have landed at various customers you can share with other people. This is your central hub for developers, developers.beefree.io. Now, before we get into all these links, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I want to direct your attention to something that's really, really exciting down here. This is Bix, and Bix is our AI-powered search. I love it. I love it. I love it. 99.9% of the time, it is absolutely knocked it out of the park for me. We're going to try a live question here, a live prompt. So y'all pray for me if you don't mind. Let's just close that real quick. And okay, doing way too much. Can we type? How? Oh, wow. Let's just try this again. Something in the sharing is not. There we go. How do I create an add-on? And this is going to do an AI search throughout our documentation and throughout all of our information on the website to see how do you create an add-on. It said ask it again because, of course, I tested this earlier. Please share the full process once again. And we're going to give it just a moment. But I definitely want to let you know that this AI-powered assistant is live. It is out of beta. It is available for you. And here we get the steps. Let's just check to make sure they're right. Log to the console. That is accurate. Create your development app. That'll be accurate as well. Navigate to the application configuration. Click on details. You have to have superpowers plan or above. Select on add-ons. Then click create custom add-on and go from there. And in this case, it even gave us a link for the documentation relevant to that. So that was fantastic. Definitely want to use the AI-powered search down here. It's called Bix. Now from there, let's go up to some of our links up top here. We see Toolkit with a drop-down. I think I need to close this first. Excellent. Toolkit with a drop-down, solutions. I want to look at docs. I think, this is my personal opinion only, our docs is some of the most powerful and efficient assets that we have in the entire ecosystem of resources for developers. We have a single technical writer, Zaire Ortiz. I give him constant props for the work that he has done. Because in the documentation, obviously we're going to go through, we're going to get right to our getting started guide here, our quick start guide. I've done this multiple times. It's straightforward. It works as is. Then we go over to the left here. We see creating an application, installation fundamentals, development applications, how to manage users and subscriptions. And then as we go down here, we see the different builders. As many of you know, we have 3 different builders, one for email, one for landing pages, one for pop-ups. Descriptions for all those right here on the left navigation. We also have these APIs to really extend the functionality of your editor. So the Content Services API, Template Catalog, and HTML Importer. You can access all those right here, at least information about them right here. Information about forms, reusable rows, file manager, and other features, all available from this left panel within the documentation. So big props to Zaire Ortiz, constantly adding on. I just saw another Slack message from this morning, some more updates, very much up to date, very helpful for developers. We're going to get out of the docs. We're going to go back over here. And I do see a question. Just to keep myself focused, I'm going to come to your questions toward the end, if that's okay. I want to make sure I get all through this because we only have 30 minutes together. But I do see your question. Thank you very much for that. So from the docs, I want to go to what I want to go to next. I want to go to support. So let's just go to support.beefree.io. Of course, it's cached. And what you'll see here is a slightly different look. This search right here is not an AI-powered search. This will be a standard fuzzy search. So we can just say add-on information, for instance, and it's going to do a fuzzy search. It's going to look for the closest thing and have a number of results. So this would be more like a traditional Google search, but still can be effective depending on where you are within the platform. There's a link for getting started guides right here. There's a form to fill out if you're having login issues here. And then we have our Beefree Academy. Let's go ahead and click on Beefree Academy. If you've been at Beefree Academy, you know much of the information here is geared towards our standalone app, but there are resources for the SDK as well, just not in the courses, but in the tutorials. Many of these are going to be videos that touch on the SDK. As you see, the last Spotlight session I was in is featured here, the SDK HTML Importer API. That was really good. So SDK information is available in the Academy. And I'm happy to tell you that on the planning right now is our first end-to-end getting started with Beefree SDK video series. You'll find it here as well. So that is in the works. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have a huge part to play along with Mark Amendolia right here. He is our video genius. So we have those things coming together for you. But tutorials, courses, the Academy itself, and then additional resources are all available in Beefree Academy. All right. From there, let's go to the blog. Now, I think I can navigate to the blog if I try hard enough. So let's just see, learn. Yes, under the learn section here, there's another reference to the docs, tutorials, some customer stories, and our blog. So some of you like to just read through, whether it's case studies, whether it's the latest feature and how to use it. A lot of things with SDK that you can use will be featured on our blog. Looks like the most recent one is here, came out June 23rd, which was just yesterday. How to empower users with better email creation. Why choose Beefree SDK? Let's take a quick little pause here. It's interesting that I'm working at this company and I really love our team and our product. Fun fact, my very first job in the technical realm when I got out of the restaurant business was as a front-end web dev in a marketing team. And one of the things that I was responsible for was our sales emails. And we used, I'm not going to get into it, it's painful, but a very, very painful, long, laborious solution to get emails out. So really, really happy to be at a modern tool, the Beefree SDK, to allow us to do the same thing, but in a much better way. But yeah, how to empower users with better email and other blogs will be found in our blog. From there, let's go ahead and navigate to the YouTube page. So I'm just going to start closing some of these up. I think I'm eating up a lot of resources here. But our YouTube page is a fantastic resource for both Beefree, the app, as well as Beefree SDK. This Spotlight session you're on will be uploaded here, as well as all of our Spotlight sessions are available in playlists. You see a playlist for our SDK sessions right there, and a ton of other quick hit. Most of these are 10 minutes or less, specific feature and specific problems. We like to think about problems and solutions. So you can probably search for different problems you're having. Many of them, you might even find a YouTube video to correspond to it. So definitely check out our Beefree YouTube channel at your convenience. Time is flying. I can't believe it's 11:16 already. We will come to the questions shortly. So from there, let's go on to the GitHub. Our GitHub features 16 repositories, all made with you in mind. Now, the popular ones we have here that are starred include our sample client, which is the sample HTML client. We also have our React starter here. We have our ASP.NET one somewhere in here. Yeah, ASP.NET. There's one for for Next.js. We have some sample forms. We have our NPM package right here. The official package is right here. You can check out if you want to see behind the scenes. You're that kind of person. It's available for you right here. But definitely want to check on assets templates. A number of templates are available to you that you can see right in our GitHub repository and our GitHub account, including brand new as of today, our pop-up templates. We have 9 pop-up templates, as you see, 18 hours ago. So this is not a repo or a collection of repo that's just standing there stagnant. These are code repositories that are being updated for your benefit. Like we have one called World Music Day, Welcome Back, Nonprofit Fundraising for Africa, etc. A few templates that you can check out on your own. I'm just going to click on Black Friday just as a for instance. We got the HTML, the JSON, and an image. I think that's pretty doggone cool. So definitely check out the ME templates. They're in our GitHub account that you can find right here. All right, from there, I want to go to, and I'm almost finished with my portion, our Twitter page. Our X page. I just can't stop saying Twitter. So really exciting thing happened about 2 to 3 weeks ago. We have, at my urging, taken our X account and made it SDK focused. Now, this is important to you because as of right now, we don't really have a focused forum like a Discord or a Discourse or a Slack for you to just nerd out with other developers about all things Beefree SDK. And we do have a channel within the Email Geek Slack. We invite you to join that. But in terms of our wholly owned space, this would be a great place for that. So all of these recent tweets are all coming from me, even the cringy GIFs, because this is all now SDK focused. So feel free to jump into the comments, ask questions, add your own comments, things that you're working on, not working on anymore, things that have worked and not worked for you. We're working on a new banner for here as well. This is now totally Beefree SDK focused, and I'm happy to be at the helm of that. Now, per my links on my list, that is all. So let's just make sure we went over them all. First resource is myself. Be free to connect with me on X and or LinkedIn. Definitely LinkedIn is the professional connecting site. We look at the home page. We want to go from there to the developers page. That's your portal. We looked at the developer portal. We looked at the docs page, the support page. We looked at the academy, the blog, the YouTube, the GitHub repos, and of course, our revamped X account. That leaves 11 minutes for me to focus on you. So let's just stop sharing real quick. We're going to turn off picture in picture. And we will stop sharing as well. And so now we're going to come to your questions and hear from you. What would you like to see in our resources? What assets can we add? What can we do a little better on that front? So I'm just going to find the first one here. Y'all give me just a moment. I think these are all intros. All right, Jeremy asked, Lawrence, do you typically join external Slack channels that Beefree establishes with clients? That is not something that I do, but I am available for that if that is of interest. So we would like to let the clients be the driver for that kind of thing. Obviously, every client is different in how they manage it. In some cases, it's a yes, we want them here in the room with us, working and collaborating with us. And if that's available, definitely send me an invite. I would love to do that. But I don't want to just invite myself to a room I'm not invited to because there may be proprietary issues, NDAs, things of that nature. But am I available for that? Absolutely. I would love to get in the room and nerd out with you. Great question, Jeremy. I appreciate you very much. And Samantha had a great answer for that as well. Thank you for that, Samantha. Got a thumbs up there. Josh said I was going to ask about using AI with a Beefree email builder. Yes, so AI, the topic of all topics, we definitely have the AI search here, but there's also a thing known as simple schema that just might interest you, Joshua. I'm not going to read this to you entirely, but I will say that Beefree JSON is our JSON schema we use to structure and validate designs in Beefree SDK. It does not provide the best structure for training AI models. The SDK simple schema, so this is a different schema that we have, is a lightweight alternative to our more robust JSON that is more accessible for AI engines and humans as well. That said, I'm actually just finished writing an outline for a talk that's going to take us from a prompt with a design all the way to a fully fleshed out and deployed email that's going to be hosted in an application. So I'm going to make sure that's recorded to get you a copy of that as well. Thank you for that question, Joshua. And I was just showing something that you could not see. So let me just share that real quick. I'm looking at the screen as if you can see it. You clearly cannot see it. So let's just do that really, really quickly. I was on this screen right here. Sorry about that. There we go. So simple schema, right? Simple schema is designed for not only humans, but for AI-driven design. So feel free to look that up. It is a data structure. It is a different type of JSON that will still represent so much of the full power of the email that we put out on a regular basis. All right, stop sharing so I can see these questions again. All right, thank you, Joshua. Humble beginnings are always painful. Absolutely, absolutely they are. And Samantha came through once again with some information. Looks like that one is about add-ons and visual builders. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Jeremy says we were given a PDF document to document the / co-edit endpoints. I don't see any documentation for those endpoints on the website. Is that coming? Well, that is a great question. And that is for the co-edit endpoints. And I'm going to real-time search two places. That is the helps, so not the help center. Let's see here. I think it might be in documentation. I want to drop a link here for you. Jeremy, let me know, does this address what you were going for or not? That is in the documentation right now. Also, I saw an update from our technical writer who I mentioned earlier. Let me just search if that was mentioned for him. Beefree. Oh, I need to fix that. Thank you. I think that was in Beefree SDK docs. There we go. Let's see. Preview changes, CSS changes. Nope, not there. Saved rows, hosted rows, front-end commands. Check endpoints. Let's see, is that it? So this is endpoints for check endpoints. So that is not what you're asking for. All right, just let me know, let me know if that was what you were asking for there. Who asked that question, Jeremy? Yeah. Awesome questions. Thank you so much for that. And the great thing is, okay, so you responded with a different one. Co-editing integration. That subpage does have what I was looking for, yes. Oh, fantastic. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Great questions from the audience today, and thank you all for being here. Again, this spotlight session, if you didn't catch all the links, it is being recorded. It will be uploaded to YouTube, so you don't have to try to jot them all down fast. Just refer to our YouTube in a few pages, or excuse me, in a few days. You'll be able to see all that clearly. All right, closing simple schema. Any other questions? Anything you would like to see added? What resources have you used from other technologies, other software companies, other SaaS companies? You're like, oh, I wish they had that at Beefree. We just don't quite have it yet. We would love to hear from you. Make note of that. Not promising we'll turn it on next week, but we definitely want to make note of it and prioritize it in terms of looking at, hey, out of all the things that we're doing, what have we been asked for from our user base, current and future? Those are the things we want to hear from. And indeed, the continued evolution of our developer advocacy program. Again, I want to work for you. I want to be an advocate for you. So I'm going to come up with my own videos, my own blog posts, my own talking topics for meetups and conferences. But when I hear from users, hey, here's what I actually need to help me onboard better. Here's what will make this process smoother for me and smoother for my team. Those are the things that pinpoint how I can write and shape the DevRel program. So that'll be really, really helpful. All right, comment from Tyson. Thanks for coming in, Tyson. Hi, Tyson from Denver, Colorado. PM for my company. We're on the VPC version of Beefree. The VPC version of Beefree are all updates and features added to the VPC version. That one I'm going to pass to Samantha. I have not worked exclusively with the VPC version in the last 3 months. But that's a very good technical question, nevertheless. VPC plan. All right. Customized releases. Okay, more controlled. So it does have a different release cycle. Okay. Gotcha. And you're asking, does all the updates and features added to the VPC version? I'm going to have to follow up with that. So I'm going to get your name down, Tyson Helmick. Do you mind just leaving the client name that you work with? I want to be sure I follow up with you. Because top of mind, I am not sure. I have not worked exclusively with VPC as of yet. Boom. Awesome. Intap. Awesome. Got it. Thank you so much. You will hear back from me or someone on our team within the week. Hopefully me. Awesome sauce. All righty. Jeremy comes with another great question. I'm looking in the API docs. Awesome. I think it would make sense from the perspective of a developer to see the info in that co-editing integration guide in the API docs section, since it's documenting endpoints for managing co-edit sessions. I got to read that again. I think what you're saying makes sense, but let me read it one more time. So I'm looking in the API docs section. Got it. I think it would make sense from the perspective of a developer to see the info in the co-editing integration guide in the API doc section. Okay, yes, since it's documenting endpoints for managing co-edit sessions. That's logical. That's logical. I don't know if there was a reason it wasn't included, but I will dig into that. That's quite logical to me. Samantha, give me some additional information for Tyson. Thank you so much for that. Folks, we're in our last 2 minutes. I'm referring back to the link I posted in that comment. Yes, you're good. I got you, Jeremy. I got you. All good. Last 2 minutes. What would you like to see? Hey, here's a question for you. Let me ask a direct question. Shortly before I started, we had a forum. It was where the developers came, like I like to say, and nerded out. It was our playground. The engagement was a little low, right? There were some people who were engaging, but not many. And there was an executive decision made to close that down. And so right now, the main forum would be the X account. How many of you who are here are interested in a forum of some type outside of X/Twitter, be it a Discord, a Slack, a discourse, or some other format? Is there any interest there or any other way that you like to engage with fellow developers who are working in an ecosystem? I would love to hear from you. Or are you good as is? That's valuable feedback as well. Just see one person typing. Ryan Hagan, I got your message. Thank you so much. The notification from the moderator side is a tiny, tiny red dot. I've been overlooking that for I don't know how long now, but I do see your message. Thank you so much. Don't use X or social media? I don't blame you. So Slack or a forum would be preferable to me. It remains to be seen how much I would actually interact with that, though. Hey, honest answer. I appreciate that. And again, perhaps closing that down made sense, and people are getting what they need either through documentation, through GitHub repos, or other sources. So if that's the case, that is perfectly fine. I just wanted to check because I tend to spend way too much time online in Slacks and Discords for every conceivable thing, for cloud, for React, for Java, for you name it. I'm in some Discord or Slack. And so if that was an interest from our community, our Beefree SDK community, I definitely wanted to hear that. And if not, we will keep it, as my mother would say, we're going to keep it trucking. I have 11:30 Central Time, folks, so I see one more person typing. I think it might have been Joshua. So I'm going to allow for that, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the day. Thank you so much for all the interaction, the great questions and feedback. From Tyson, thank you, Sam. Yes, sign up for the updates and use our Slack channel extensively. Dev team works a lot with Lorenzo. Awesome. Just wanted to know if you develop and release features for the VPC in addition to your core offering. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, I don't see anyone else typing. Joshua, I also think it depends on the developer audience. I like the docs and communicating directly. That makes sense. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. Well, folks, thank you for coming to the session today, whether you're live or you're seeing this later on YouTube. Again, my name is Lawrence Lockhart. I'm the Senior Developer Advocate, and I am happy to interact with you via whatever means that you like, whether it's LinkedIn or social media, talk about what's going well and what you could like to see better. And hey, if we want to have some special webinars, tell me about it. If you want to have maybe a sponsor on meetup in your town, there's a ton of email developers where you live for whatever reason. Can we have an email meetup group? Let's talk about that kind of thing. I'll fly out to you. We'll have us a great time. So until then, you all keep on producing those beautiful emails with Beefree SDK and tell a friend about us. Thanks a lot.